Hi guys, welcome back to Bows Fan TV, and today we're back with another video doing the match preview for tomorrow's game against St. Pat's at Richmond Park. Looking to bounce back from last week's draw against Sligo in a game where we probably should have won. When you look at all the chances that we created, we really should have took at least 4 or 5 of them, or 4 or 5 more than the one we scored, of course. And yeah, if we'd have ran out 5 or 6 winners, he wouldn't have, it wouldn't have flattered us at all, I don't think. But look, we're coming into this game now looking to bounce back with 3 points against the struggling St. Pat's side, who currently sits sixth in the league, and they've only won 3 out of their last 15. They're really struggling at the moment, and it's quite hard to put a finger on it, to be honest. A lot of people blame Kenny. I don't think it's all his fault now, to be honest. If you look at that squad, and it's very, very strong, and a lot of people are tipping them to be real title contenders at the start of the season, and it hasn't gone that way at all. I think they're 17 points off the top, and we're halfway throughout the season. So there's a lot of things that have gone wrong. I don't know whether it's down to some players' attitudes or what Kenny's trying to do, or his tactics or anything like that. But yeah, they are struggling at the moment. They've only won 3 out of 15. So yeah, they'd really want to start getting their act together, even if they want to finish in the top 4, which at the moment is looking quite unlikely. But onto ourselves anyway, and I think it's just about taking the frustration from last week's game into this now, and getting those 3 points that we probably deserved last week. Lots of chances, just didn't take them. But look, there was still a pretty good energy to us in that game. Maybe not as much as the Rovers game, but we were still, I think, full value for 3 points, even though we didn't get it, of course. Onto the team anyway, and look, I can see things staying pretty much the same, but I think if Douglas James Taylor is fit and ready to go, which he should be, he was playing week in, week out for Drogheda before we brought him in. He should be ready and fit, so I think we'd put him up front. I think you'd expect him to be our number 1 striker now for the foreseeable. Colin Whelan hasn't quite worked for him so far. Mills is gone, of course. That was announced yesterday, so I think that spot is there for him now to take it. It's just up to him now to deliver the goals, and I think he will. I think he does suit the system. I know we said in previous videos that whether he has enough goals in him, remains to be seen. But I think with the service he'll get from our other attacking players, like Rooney and Devoy and Tierney, I think he will score goals. So I play him up front, and other than that, I don't think everything will stay the same. I think it would be wrong to start making lots of changes now. Even if we didn't get the result we wanted last week, we're still playing well. So you just gotta allow things to carry on and keep hopefully working. But on to a prediction. Look, you always have to be kind of careful going into these games. Richmond Park can be a really tough place to go. I know Pats have been poor lately, but there's still a lot of talent in that squad, even if they're not showing it right now. There's no doubt that they probably have one of the strongest squads in the league, and they don't normally get turned over at Richmond Park either. But look, if we can just carry on the energy we've been showing in the last few games, I think last week should have won. Just if we took our chances, it would have been a completely different game. Even Rovers, we were really, really good. If we can show anything like that energy that we showed there in that game, then we'll have no problem here. We think against the Pat side, who aren't showing that energy right now. They are struggling. I think they are kind of the opposite of us right now. They're not showing the energy that we're showing. We still have to be careful about these games. But look, when you compare the form, we're obviously much better at the moment. And look, I'm gonna go with a 1-0 win. I think it could be tight. But look, if we can play like we did last week, but just be a bit more clinical, I expect us to get the win, and hopefully get back to winning ways and carry on from there, and really push on then and get serious about cementing ourselves in the top 3. So yeah, that's where I'll end it. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment down below what you're thinking heading into the game, for score predictions, and I'll see you for the reaction the day after. Bye bye.